Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Paramount number DP441AL 18G. So some important things in there. The most important thing is the 18G, the G in that part number. The DP stands for drop plate. The 441 stands for the series of closer that you'll use this in. The AL, well, that stands for aluminum. Made of steel, aluminum based. They're heavy. They weigh 2.5 pounds would be my guess. What is a drop plate? A drop plate simply permits you to install a door closer into a space or onto a application that the real estate you're given otherwise is insufficient to get the door closer installed. What that really means is an 18G is when you have a ceiling condition where your header of the frame is unconducive with physically fitting the closer onto that space. If you think of a 441 Paramount closer, you'll think in your head immediately, gosh, that's far too big to fit onto a 2-inch hollow metal frame or an even smaller aluminum storefront header, which could be narrow style and probably 1 3/4 or something in that range. And the 18G is one of about 4 drop plates most likely. There's a link below this video to a document called Product Brochure that on page 2, indeed it is 4, you'll see the 4 different models that are available in terms of drop plates. The 18, the 18PA, the 18G, and the 18TJ, and they're all defined immediately above there. The 18G is the item that we're focusing on here. This drop plate is required for a top jamb installation where the closer must be flush with the top of the head frame due to a flush ceiling condition where you do need an 1 3/4 minimum header dimension. So literally what that means is when your frame is going to run all the way to the ceiling, which is unusual but not necessarily unheard of. And you certainly do see it occasionally where that ceiling runs right to the top of the header. A top jamb mount is simply when the door closer body is mounted on the header and the door closer body is mounted on the push side or the egress side of the opening. Be very typical for an outswinging door where you're going to mount the door closer on the interior of the space. You're going to put it up onto the header, but you have this funny header condition. If you don't have the funny header condition, you want the 18TJ, which is going to be a top jamb where you have your head frame is less than 3-inch, but at least 1 3/4. So if you can drop that closer body down a little bit off your header, you'd go with the 18TJ in a top jamb mount. What you'll need to do certainly is to lay out the template of the door closer originally and then reference your mounting points of where everything is going to be installed so that you can understand, for instance, where does the arm shoe make contact with the face of the top rail of the door. That dimension has to be derived, and you have to look that up to make sure that it's all going to fit. Most likely you're dealing with a flush door that you can put that arm shoe wherever it falls out per the template or lays out per the template. But it could be that you have a top rail and you need to literally lay that out. Look at the original template. Look at the included instructions for the 18G. This single piece of paper is going to work with everything. The 4 different models. Your 18G is right in the middle there. It's going to show you, unfortunately, just in millimeters where it's all laid out. But you can get the concept by those large X's. So what they do is, those 6 large X's is going to be what you're going to mount to the header. Your closer is going to mount in 4 of these 8 holes that are drilled and tapped. So your closer body is going to literally, after the plate is installed on the header, your closer body is going to go right to this heavy piece of steel. Okay. Fasteners are going to be included. You're going to be able to do, you're going to be able to get your body installed down. You're going to have some self-drilling oval head, flathead machine screws to get the plate put down. You'll have the bolts to get the body down to the plate itself. These longer bolts will go through the body and then go right into these holes. Okay, here, depending on where you'll end up falling the body's going to mount to the plate is what I'm trying to say. Drop plates are really important, and when you're installing a door closer onto, or scheduling one onto an opening, if you've got glass, if you have stiles and rails, if you have unusual frame dimensions or an unusual ceiling condition, or you have an extended reveal, a deep reveal, you're going to want to investigate further into your door closer. Look at the requirements of the closer. Really just start with the installation instructions, the template of where you're going to lay everything out. If you can conceptualize the installation of that and then verify that nothing violates your actual conditions, you're certainly going to be okay. If you get into a scenario where you have an unusual, what I'm trying to say is you've got a grade 1 441 Paramount closer where these screw holes are every bit of 2.5 inch separating each other. Actually, it's 2 1/4. You're going to say to yourself, wait a minute, top jam, 2-inch hollow metal frame, that ain't going to work. So you can start to put it together. What am I looking for? What is violating a healthy installation, and what hardware do I need to account for that? And since door closers like this have existed for so many decades, the answer already exists. It's just a matter of doing the research and finding the answer. And drop plates along with arms, corner brackets, specialty sort of accessories for arms, all of this conspires to put together a healthy, proper installation for what you are in particular working on. This is a relatively unusual plate with that flush ceiling condition. Again, not unheard of. There's that link to the product catalog, then there's a link to the template or the installation instructions for the door closer itself. You're going to need to be mindful when you're installing this to literally follow the dimension from the vertical axis of pivoting of your hinge over to the first screw holes so that everything is compliant with the degree of opening that you want to achieve. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Paramount products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Paramount, in the product line that they sell, is not necessarily special or unique in the sense that they sell items that you can buy from many other sources. But I can tell you that I choose to use Paramount because of their product the quality is irreproachable, good quality material. But what really separates them is the moxie of the people that work there. These are people that are driven, are responsive, are all the time with you on the phone, and they love it, and they do a great job as a result. And I send as much I can their way, and that's the bottom line. And they continue to earn that over and over and over again. Any questions on the DP441AL in a, I lied, it weighs about 2.8 pounds. In an 18G variant or any other Paramount product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.